Hi, I'm Chrissy. Welcome to Chrissy Crafts. Come and see what's on my hook, what's in my hoop, and what's happening at home. So first, a big hello and a big welcome to all my new subscribers. Thank you very much for clicking that little button, and I hope you have fun visiting with me today. And to all the people who've visited before, welcome back. Let's catch up. First, I finished my Hotel of Bees shawl, the one that I lamented in my last video that I had to frog from here back because I'd missed a row and it was all going wonky. Look, I fixed it. Those of you who follow me on Instagram will see that it did take, as I promised, some gin, some chocolate, and a great friend to kind of get me through it. But I did it. I frogged it back to like here, and I redid it. And oh, I love it. Look at those tiny hexies. Isn't that cute? And then the gray. And it's just the kind of thing where I know they normally gray and beige don't normally go together, but this just kind of works. I love this shawl. And it is so soft. So I'm very sing-songy about it because, oops, I think I bumped the mic. Sorry. Very sing-song about it because I was so pleased when I finally finished it, because it was a bit of a labor of love at one point, because, oh, and it's so soft. I do have an extra skein of the Fyberspates Scrumptious 4-ply. It is. I have to hang on to it because it might float away. It's so soft. So, and I also have some leftover of each color. So I'm going to see what else I can make with this scrumptious. It's just so aptly named, Scrumptious yarn. Yeah, I'm really pleased with how this turned out. And it's been perfect shawl weather in England. Just in the morning, just a hint of a chill. So I'm just going to keep holding this up because I was really pleased with myself. Anyway, for those of you who have joined in along with the Crochet-A-Long that Sandra from Cherry Heart and Sam from Betsy Makes are hosting, you'll know what I'm talking about, how happy you feel when you finish it. Yippee! Why does finishing a crochet thing make people so giddy? I mean, I love that. In this crazy world, it's really nice to know that I could get like really childishly excited about finishing a pretty soft shawl. Anyway, moving swiftly on. What's on my hook now? Well, you've seen this before and you will see it again. The Mist Kingfisher shawl. Nearly done, so nearly done. It kind of got usurped by the hobcow, by the Hotel of Bees shawl, because there was a deadline for that. So in this one, I'm starting the very last section, which is just all the brown. So again, I'm calling this my Mist Cupcake because they are cupcake colors, not Kingfisher colors. They're chocolate cupcake with pink frosting. And I think when I do finish it, I will celebrate by making some chocolate cupcakes with pink frosting and sit here and eat. Oh gosh, isn't that lovely? I love those stripes. I will say though, I mean, as fun as this is and as gorgeous as this is, double crochet or US single crochet stitches over and over again get a bit tedious, especially when you're at this big giant bit where every row is like, you know, between, I don't know, is it getting close to 300 stitches now, like 280? I don't even remember. You just keep going and it grows this much each row and you're thinking, really, can I just get this over with? So it is one that I take along when I'm visiting friends and I can chat with, just because I'm ready for it to be done now. Like I'm ready now because I just want to wear it because I love it. But yeah, it's going to be done before I see you again. Next time I see you, I'll be wearing it and eating a cupcake. Mark my word. It is, again, I will show this off even though you've seen this countless times from the Crochet, the Shawl Project, Book 2. I will list everything that I show here, all the details in the show notes below, and I'll put them on my blog. and all the details of where you can find me will be in my show notes. So now that I'm nearly done with those 2 shawls, what is next? Well, you know, I always have a gazillion WIPs on the go, so I just have to choose one of them at least, but I always have something else crop up. I need to finish the mandalas. You know, I'm doing the Simply Crochet mandalas every month. I'm 2 mandalas behind. So and actually mandalas are great in between projects. If you're working on big things like a shawl or a blanket, having a quick mandala in between, it's, you know, just kind of keeps you going, and it's something different, and it's quick, uses different stitches each row, so it's just something that freshens you up. I think I'm going to cut that bit. That just sounds like nonsense. If you'll notice behind me, I got a new little friend. This is the new Miss New Moon. Come here, love. Oops. This is from a little artisan called Proverbial Daisy. I will put her details up here. And she makes these darling little fairies out of vintage fabrics. These are vintage laces. I have a little purple fairy for my daughter that is a proper fairy, not a witch, with this beautiful vintage ball gown she used, I think, because it's gorgeous purple with sequins and all this. She makes these darling little dollies. Well, she posted this on her Instagram the other day, and it's a witch and a fairy combined with a feather broomstick. The likeness is uncanny because I am part fairy, part witch. So I nabbed her quick. I think she's so darling. So she's going to live on my little wall of love, crafty love. But for now, I'll put her here. The next thing I have to do, you remember the Spun Gold Shawl by Kat Goldin? I love this. I need a gift for a friend who loves all things blue and green and turquoise and teal and all those bluey colors. And I was in my local haberdashery Pins and Needles and Grey Shot, which I love, and look, Juniper Moon Farm, Harriet Fine, Baby Alpaca, and Nylon. So it can be made into socks because of the nylon, but I'm going to make this Spun Gold Shawl in this. Won't it be gorgeous? I think it'll work up really beautifully into this type of shawl. The person I'm making it for is quite contemporary and streamlined in her dress sense, for lack of a better description. She doesn't like lacy fancy stuff. And I think that'll be really useful. It suits the yarn perfectly and it suits her perfectly. So I'm really excited to make it. I need to get onto it because I have it, I need to make it by July, I think it is. I got a present yesterday from a friend of mine. My friend Jess, who's in my choir, who also is a craft goddess. She is absolutely lovely. She, unbeknownst to me, she had ordered some hand-dyed by Kate's watermelon yarn that was the huge hit at Unravel. It would sell out like within minutes of the show opening every day. People knit socks out of them, they crochet things out of them, and look, there's even like black in there for the black seeds. Eee! And I was loving it, but I wasn't quick enough to even get on the waiting list for it. Well, Jess got on the waiting list and she just added a couple balls and got me one as well. I don't even know what I'm going to do with it. It's so cute. I might just leave it. These new yarn cakes, everybody's making these cakes, like all the Sheepius Whirl yarns, and Rico has them as well, and Katya, and I don't know, every company has their, you know, ombre cakes. I just think they're pretty like that. I would just have them dotted on my wall on a shelf and just leave them for a while. This is the most coveted of all of them. So Jess, you are a superstar. Thank you so much. So I'm knitting. What? I am knitting. After seeing my friend Emma at Potter and Bloom is doing this match and move shawl. It's so cool and so gorgeous. I'd asked her, do you think I could do something like this? Because as we all know, I am not a knitter. Not a knitter. Not a knitter. I'm a very beginning knitter. And I have these two gorgeous balls of Hillview Farm yarn that were on the wall of love, of Yarn Love before. The wall of Yarn Love that I got these at Unravel as well. And the Match and Move shawl, I'll leave the links to, well, you should all probably know Emma, but you know that one that has the big kind of stripes, zigzaggy stripe. All right, I know I haven't really knit that much yet, but this is a big deal for me. I know it's probably looking really rubbish as well. My friend Alex was helping me get started, and apparently I'm a very tight knitter. Surprise, surprise, I'm a tight crocheter as well. So I don't know what this is gonna end up looking like, but don't look closely actually, because I'm so new to this. The tension's gonna be all over the place. It's gonna be really messy, but I figure it's a start and it'll be a forgiving design. It's a very simple design and simple stitching. So I can't even talk the lingo yet. I can't talk the talk. So I don't know what stitches is. I can't remember. I have to look at the recipe. I have to look at the instructions. See, I'm more comfortable baking than I am knitting, but I'll get there. I'm determined to become a knitter as well. And I figure if I do them with these really fun colors, and I have so many friends who knit who'll be there to hold my hand and help me through it, that I'll get through it. So there. So far, I don't even have, it's tiny. One of my friends said, oh, that looks just like a thong. Not even there yet. I can't even, it's not even a thong yet. Oh, this is just going, I don't want to go there. I just want it to be a shawl. I just want it to look like a shawl and not like the front of a pair of pants, underpants. I'm just going to put this away. This is going just nonsense right now. I'm just nonsense. Hey, this is a bag I made a couple of years ago. Life is one big whip. My own project bags. I should make some more of those. I stitched that. That's some embroidery. Which is a great segue, because now it's time for What's in My Hoop. I have just posted the final video for the Herb Embroidery Stitch Along. So you should have, this was the fly stitch. You should have all the stitches to make this on all the different little tutorial videos. That straightens up. I've just pulled the fabric, so that's gone crooked. I might put another little frond in a fly stitch around there, but I don't know. I might just leave it like that. And then I'll decide what I want to do with it. There's enough fabric around it. I can make a little project bag. I can make it some hoop art. I'm not really sure, but I had a lot of fun doing that and doing all the little videos, and I hope a lot of you found it helpful. I've had some really lovely feedback and comments and emails about it, so thank you very much if you stitched along with me. And the videos will be up for all eternity, so you can join in as and when, and I'm always here to help out. So if you need any advice or any help, send me a message and I'll help you out. Now, one thing I have been working on for a number of years now, because I'll work on it a bit and then I put it away and forget about it, using the different herbs that we stitch there, I am making a set of placemats for our picnic table, outdoor placemats. So this, I use a really rough Hessian fabric. I have this thing for combining like rough fabrics and textures with really fine embroidery. I think it just goes really well together. So that's like back home in America, they call this burlap. It's similar to burlap. It's a rough Hessian fabric, and something about it just said, stitch me. So I've taken the fennel and I've made some bronze fennel. I had bronze fennel in my garden, my herb garden, which goes this, literally this really gorgeous burnt orange color. And so I started making a placemat, and then on the other side where the cutlery goes, I put a teeny weeny little bee. So there's one done. On the back, I just used some, this is just some vintage linen that I've just stitched on the back. So that's the first one. And then the second one that I just have to stitch the back on, I did some of the lavender. So there's the lavender. And then I did a tiny ladybird. I'm bilingual. Teeny tiny little ladybird. So each, I'm going to make a set of 4. Actually, if I get this one done, I'll be happy because I've had these around for a while. So each placemat will have a different flower and a different little creepy crawly, definitely a spider. And I don't know what the fourth one will be. Suggestions, welcome. I mean, I could do a butterfly, but I want something teeny and simple. So what's happening at home? I had my crochet club a couple weeks ago. We meet once a month, and I always bake something lovely. And this month I made something new, which was delicious. It was Martha Stewart's carrot ginger cupcakes with an orange and ginger cream cheese frosting. Worked out really well. This is one of these cupcakes. It's not like a normal carrot cake. There were so many carrots, grated carrots in these cupcakes that I honestly said this counts as one of your 5 a day. I mean, there was so many, but it was delicious and of course very moist. And the cream cheese frosting with the orange and ginger, it's fresh ginger as well, so it's just a bit zingy and different, a bit different than your normal cream cheese frosting. And they went down a treat. They were absolutely delicious. The frosting, I'm putting the link for the recipe, and the frosting makes a ton. So either, if you're going to make these, cut the frosting in half, the recipe in half, or I froze a bunch of it because it freezes really well, and then I'll just make another batch of the cupcakes, or I'm going to try another recipe for a carrot cake and just put the leftovers on top. Just when you defrost it, you just have to whip it up again. And that goes for kind of all frostings as well. Buttercream frosting freezes really well, but again, when you defrost it, you do need to give it a good beating again to whip all the air into it. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the freezer. So I think that's all for me right now. I try to keep these really short and about the time it takes to make kids dinner, because when I'm watching a lot of the videos and YouTube channels, I usually, well, I have to multitask because I don't just have, no one has time to just sit and watch videos all the time. So I usually have my iPad propped up in the kitchen while I'm chopping and cooking, and so I try to make my videos the time it takes you to make dinner. So that being said, I'm hungry now, so I'm gonna go get some lunch, and I wish you all a very happy week and a happy weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye! That sounds ridiculous.